yellow maize,
Yes.
we didn't see a significant reduction on the cost of feed. Maybe they will explain to us whatever it is. But as processors, have you thought of how do you support farmers? Because these are your producers. How are you supporting them towards this trajectory of reducing the cost of feed? Is there something processors can also do to support the farmers to produce at a lower cost?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Actually, the main issue on feed is fodder, not actually the concentrates. And that's why I said land is very key in this, because if a professional or professionals are given land, it is very easy to plant fodder. And with the fodder, already 70% of the game is done. Then concentrates top up the game. So it is, we have been discussing among ourselves, and even we have been asking ourselves, what can we do to have these guys who want to go commercial on production? Because for sure, with one cow, breaking even is very difficult. Even if we pay 70 or 100, it may not work out. But if you have somebody who is willing to do 10 cows, 100 cows, 1,000 cows, would we even be willing to sign contracts of taking all this milk so that we support and they are assured there is really market for the business? So we have been engaging. I remember we were also called by the PS, and it was the same question, because during the dry spell, there is no milk, we struggle, we fight among ourselves. When we are going to the peak, like now, the El Nino, nobody wants to go at that high place, and somehow we feel like we are not professionals. We would like to have it organized and then smooth, and would be more than willing to offtake the milk and make sure that the farmer makes his money.
So, as we put the milk infrastructure,
yes, sir,
it's possible as part of making sure that somebody invests. When
yes.
Somebody invests only when they are sure
yes,
that there will be an off-taker.
True, sir.
And the price is already agreed.
True.
At the moment, it is the processor who decides. And just by stroke of a pen, they say, from next week, we are paying 45. And there is nobody to ask the processor, so where does that leave all the investment we have made? So are you saying that the processors are willing to step up and sign a contract?
Yes, I can say.
So that when the farmers or whoever invests,
yes, sir,
they know they have a price for a whole year,
yes,
at
sir,
the very least.
Yes.
Or, I mean, for an agreed number of, length of time for
yes,
them to make the necessary investment.
I am saying that, sir, and I know there are some of us are doing, like biofunds. I know they contract farmers, and we under discussion even with the LATO and most of us, and we are more than willing to do that, so long as we are able now to see clearly. You see, the investor only wants to be sure that his investment is going to give return, whether at the farm level or the processor. So if you look at it as a whole complete chain, then there will be space for everyone. And the most important thing is the margin. Once everybody has his own margin, the prices are not relevant anymore. And I think we are more than willing to do that, sir.
So finally,
yes, sir.
No, second before final.
Yes.
The contracting addresses price.
Yes, sir.
But we are still saddled with the challenge of cost of production at the bottom of the pyramid. You know, you can never have enough public land,
yes,
to give to everybody.
Yes.
As processors,
yes, sir,
have you thought of, because you're concerned about farmers, have you thought of how do you support the farmers that bring milk to you?
Yes, sir.
How do you support them with feed, either negotiating for them? Because it's difficult for a farmer, individual farmer, with even if you have 100 cows.
Yes, sir.
It's difficult for an individual farmer to negotiate for any meaningful supply of affordable feed. Is it a possibility that processors can also work with farmers and finding the people or companies that can support the low-cost feed so that we can reduce the cost of production? Is it something that you think we can structure? We can bring government on board, but we must also bring processors on board to see how do we have a public and private partnership in terms of producing high quality but affordable feed. Is it something that you have exercised your mind, or is it something that you're willing to consider?
His Excellency, I would say it's something we are willing. In fact, we are willing to invest. Like for us in Meru, we are already constructing a feed mill because we believe without supporting the farmer, we are not in business. The only fear processors have, and this is which you have already responded when you spoke, is what happens when I have a lot of milk and then the market is not absorbing. That is the fear of processing in this room, because the farmers will come for the money at the end of the month. You have your milk here and you're struggling with it. So if there was a way to make sure that if I take all the milk, somehow the government would support me so that I'm not stuck, then the best assurance we can give the farmers is first to take all the milk. And then number two, we give incentives. In fact, most of us even have, we have set some budget assigned to support farmers. Like in Meru, we are doing AI, we are doing, actually we negotiate fees on their behalf, and we do training, we have vet doctors even to support the government. We are doing a lot, and we are willing to even give some budget to that. The only fear is how do we close the game in case there's more milk. Like now, if the Romino, what is disturbing us is, if my milk doubles, yes, I can process, but how can I offroad to receive this money? But with a good plan, I can promise you, if the government gives us the money, we are going to refund the money and make sure that the farmers are happy, sir.
Okay.